So Nyalo in the studio. I'm joined by, the conference was the Third Africa Youth Cooperative, and this year's theme was moving from ideas to youth empowerment, fostering entrepreneurship and financial literacy education through school cooperatives in Africa. The conference was organized by the International Cooperative Alliance Africa. In the studio, I'm now joined by the CEO, Dr. Sifa Shihoye, and who is the CEO, as I've said, and regional director of the International Cooperative Alliance Africa, as well as Hilda Oshal. It will be so, President of Alliance Africa Youth Network. Can you please say hi to the people of the kingdom, beautiful kingdom of Eswatini?
Thank you very much. I'd like first to thank the government of Eswatini and the people of Eswatini for the good welcome that we have received. And we are pleased with what we have seen, and very happy with also junior achievement as achieved so far in the country.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I would also like to thank the Kingdom of Eswatini and also JA and also the organizers of the third conference for the youth. And I would like to say it was a success.
Okay.
Yes.
CEO, you are basically in the kingdom, the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. Can you please tell us about the beautiful kingdom? Why are you here in the kingdom of Eswatini?
Yeah, we are here in the kingdom of Eswatini because we have organized our third African Youth Network Conference. This is the first and second one took place in Rwanda and the DRC respectively. So we have been changing according to the success stories, but also the sub-regionals. We have divided Africa into 5 sub-regions: the north, the south, the east, the north, west, east, south, and central. So we have already covered the central, that is DRC, the east, Rwanda, and now south, which is Eswatini. We chose Eswatini because of the success story which the JA has achieved in less than 1 year.
Nice one, nice one. Hilda, can you please explain the network itself and what is the role of the youth network in promoting cooperatives in Africa?
So basically the Alliance Africa Youth Network started in 2013 as an interim committee, which was through the Cooperative General Assembly, ICA Assembly, that was in South Africa, Cape Town, in 2013. And it came as an emerging issue that young people need to be represented in Africa through the cooperative model. And that is when we had our interim committee. And we were ratified in 2014 during the conference, the General Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya, the 11th General Assembly in Africa, Nairobi. And from then on, we kicked off in championing for the issues of young cooperators in Africa in 2016 after the elections in Rwanda. That is why the regional director has told you that we had our first conference in Rwanda. And we sat down to listen to the challenges of young people in the cooperative movement, their success stories, share ideas and solutions, possible solutions that we can look into the young people's issues, be it entrepreneurship issues, be it jobs, lack of employment, and such issues. So we have been able to champion for such issues and present them, be it in the global or regional offices. Yes.
Okay. Dr. Shihoye, yesterday you attended the conference which was held down in the center of the Kingdom of Eswatini in Manzini at the George Hotel. What were the issues that were being deliberated during the conference, and what were the outcomes of the conference?
Yeah, the issues which were deliberated, like we have heard from the theme itself, the major one was the unemployment rate in Africa and definitely in the Kingdom of Eswatini.
Mm-hmm.
The involvement or promotion of the youth in cooperatives,
Yeah.
and as well as the enabling environment for cooperative and youth in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And the achievements that we have had so far, all the objectives were met. And the specific one, it was to showcase the best practices. And it happens that Eswatini, in terms of the school cooperatives, was leading with the JA program.
Mm-hmm.
We are happy to say that in less than 1 year, the Junior Achievement was able to support 40 cooperatives.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the students themselves who have already served and they registered. The government was able to register the cooperatives,
Mm-hmm.
the operationals, up and running. And I think that is something which then the Eswatini can be able to export to other countries, and be able to implement in other countries in terms of school cooperatives.
Okay, Hilda, you were part of those who attended the conference. What is your view? Maybe if I can say, what were the outcomes of the conference?
I think
Your observations.
I think it is quite exemplary what JA is doing,
Mm-hmm.
Eswatini is doing, because these are practices that we need to emulate across the continent.
Mm-hmm.
And we were actually applauding them because these are young people who are being trained on how to manage their finances. And it was not basically a talk, but it was actually something tangible that we could see, that we had testimonies of young people talking about how they have saved and how they have improved their lives in terms of paying for their own school fees, in terms of paying for their uniform and stationery, and helping out their parents in one way or another. So our take home really is that we need to emulate whatever JA Eswatini is doing for the young cooperators in Eswatini.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Shikoye, what have you learned from, or rather, what have you learned from Junior Achievement Eswatini Schools Cooperatives Program?
I've learned that what matters is the goodwill and the focus and vision. Like I said, less than 1 year, they have already impacted on 40 schools. So meaning that in 5 years or 10 years, I think the old schools in Eswatini will have been covered.
Mm-hmm.
And my point now is that they need more support even in the Kingdom of Eswatini, especially from the government and also the school officials, so that they can start doing business with the same cooperatives. I'll borrow from what I've seen in Japan and also in Spain, where the school cooperatives are the one running all the commercial activities of the schools and the universities, for that matter, be it library, canteen, and any other, or cleaning services. They're the ones the universities and schools outsource. And I think that is the next step which I'm looking forward to see now these cooperatives graduating too, and all of us, that is the school management, the community, and the government giving them support.
Okay. Hilda, do you see this, or rather the JA model, Junior Achievement Eswatini model working in Africa?
It is quite possible, as the regional director said, that we need vision, we need people who are committed in terms of taking this model, because the cooperative model has proved to work for the young people, and it has provided an entrepreneurship platform for the young people. So I think this will be able to be emulated, probably through other connections through JA Eswatini. We have been able to talk to other JA within the 14 countries across Africa. So we will be able to get feedback from them if it is possible to emulate the same and use the cooperative model within our schools across Africa to have cooperatives through the JA program.
Okay.
Yes.
You not only experience the beauty of what JA is doing, but you also experience the beauty of the Kingdom of Eswatini. Are you planning to come back to visit the Kingdom of Eswatini, maybe to, in other issues?
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, we have been working closely with the director of cooperatives in the Kingdom of Eswatini, Mama Mnisi. And this has been a long relationship. In fact, she is a member of the technical committee of the ministerial conference. At the African level, we do have countries as associate members of the International Cooperative Alliance Africa, and we have the movement as the full members. So basically, we have been interacting at those two levels. And my hope is that I'll come very soon, not if not for the ministerial conference, even from the movement side. And I think we still have a lot to do in the Kingdom of Eswatini, leave alone the school cooperatives. There are other sectors of the economies which also need to be expanded and supported as well. And why not also hosting in the near future the ministerial conference? The ministerial conference brings about all the ministers in charge of cooperatives in Africa, and we have been doing the rotation every 3 years. So basically my hope is that very soon Eswatini can also host the ministerial conference.
Thank you very much for coming through to the show, and as well as visiting the Kingdom of Eswatini. And I believe that you will in the future come through as well with other, your other colleagues to visit the kingdom. Thank you very much for coming through.
Pleasure is ours.